Should you spend more money on the Lexar CFexpress Type A cards? If you're looking to pick up a CFexpress Type A card, it's likely because you're using a Sony camera and you want to unlock all of the full capabilities that are kind of hid behind these CFexpress Type A cards. The ability to record all intra, 4K 60, 4K 120, etc. And the fact that these cards are really, really fast, but currently they're really, really expensive. Now, right now, the cheapest card that you can get on the market, hands down, are these PerGear 260 gigabyte CFexpress Type A cards. The next kind of closest one that you can get currently on the market are these Lexar CFexpress Type A cards. Now, during Black Friday, I actually got these cards for ridiculously cheap, like ridiculously cheap. These PerGear cards that I got during Black Friday came out to being 66 cents per gigabyte. So about $10 to $12 difference between these two cards for the full capacity when I bought them. I have been running some tests and I've been using both of these cards back to back now for probably 2.5, 3 weeks, just because I'm curious if I'm losing any kind of benefit going by the off-brand PerGear card versus these Lexar cards. And I ran some speed tests using the Blackmagic speed utility app on my MacBook Pro with both of these plugged into a Thunderbolt port with a Thunderbolt CFexpress Type A adapter. And yes, the Lexar cards are a little bit faster. That said, after testing them back to back, I don't know how many people buying these cards are buying them for utility or for a purpose outside of the Sony camera ecosystem. That's why we only need the kind of base level, kind of limited performance that we have available for something like these PerGear cards to kind of fulfill the needs necessary. So if you're trying to decide between the Lexar brand being the kind of name brand for CFexpress Type A cards versus PerGear, I would tell you that there's really no negative to getting the PerGear card outside of kind of like warranty support and kind of customer support that you might get with Lexar. That said, both of these cards I'm going to assume are coming out of the same factory in China or a very similar factory in China. I know that a lot of the semiconductor stuff in China is done in 1 or 2 cities from a couple different foundries, and then everything is kind of labeled or private labeled from those foundries. I lived in Asia for a while. That's kind of how I know those things. Should you spend more money on the Lexar CFexpress Type A cards? No. If you're just using them to film in a Sony camera and you don't care about the read speed coming off the card, when you're dumping those cards onto your computer, there isn't any kind of other tangible benefit to spending more money on the Lexar cards. That said, if you're able to use AliExpress like I am, and you're able to take advantage of any of these sales that AliExpress might have, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, what are any other of the Asian holidays that they also kind of celebrate with deals and discounts on AliExpress, you might be able to get the CFexpress Type A cards on AliExpress for slightly cheaper than the PerGear cards that you're able to get on Amazon during whatever sale Amazon might have on the PerGear CFexpress Type A cards. Again, using these cards back to back, I've noticed no difference. I've had no issues with recording with either of these cards. And for everything that I can tell, maybe the Lexar cards are made a little bit better than the PerGear cards are, but you really shouldn't kind of care that much about which name brand of these CFexpress Type A cards because the technology is so new and there's so few companies manufacturing them that I wouldn't be surprised if the actual memory chips on the inside of both of these cards come out of the identical place in China. That's why whatever you can get for the cheapest price per gigabyte for any of the CFexpress Type A cards, as long as it's an authentic card that genuinely works, just get whatever CFexpress cards you can, and you'll probably be happy with them. I haven't had any issues in my Sony A7S III. I would love to try these in an FX6 or a FX3 or any of the other any of the other cameras in the Sony ecosystem. But until then, I want to go ahead and make this video, hopefully help you guys save some money. I know PerGear now also is making 1 terabyte cards, which are absolutely huge and could literally just kind of live in my camera in perpetuity if I just plug my camera into my computer and just kind of offload footage that way. Their cards are insane. And with all of kind of the different shooting modes that are unlocked with your Sony cameras with the CFexpress Type A cards, I think it's worth it. But what do you think? Peace.